Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the lower bracket quarterfinals. We are down here in Asia. We are here on console. And we are in Season 0 Doom's Rise. Welcome to Tetcher, where I'm giving you a new cast every single day leading up to the beginning of Season 1, where I'll be doing the exact same thing. And I'll be bringing you a cast of Season 1 every single day, my health permitting. As you can I'm sure you can still hear, I'm still sick, but I'm giving it my best and trying to just bring the entertainment for y'all. I took a day off yesterday, so hopefully that helped. Let's get started. As we are moving in with Hela getting banned out and Doctor Strange removed, Black Panther is protected. Our teams today are going to be OCE versus Phasmophobes. Phasmophobes coming in from the upper bracket quarterfinals have managed to fight their way through Cosmic Alien and Orbit in order to reach this lower bracket quarterfinal. Whereas OCE, they took out Orbit in the upper bracket quarterfinals, but then got knocked down in the upper bracket semifinals by Slither Edge in a 3-0. Which is what now brings us to this lower bracket quarterfinal. These teams are now 3 series, if you include this one, away from the grand finals. Lower bracket quarterfinals, lower bracket semifinals, lower bracket final, and of course, that grand final. It is doable. We're going to see Hawkeye get protected. Loki and Groot will get removed here. Very sensible. We've been seeing a little bit of Groot sneaking in from Phasmophobes especially. So they're going to keep it a little bit mixed up here and see what they can do. OCE, they love this triple strategist composition, but a little bit mixed up from the normal triple strategist style you would see. Running the Rocket Raccoon, in this case, without a Punisher. Very interesting to see. We'll keep an eye on that, see if they do mix it up as time goes on. As let's introduce our players. On the left-hand side, in the blue trunks, on defense here, it is going to be OCE with paper bags on the Rocket, Lane on the Penny Parker. Zai will be playing Black Panther. We have Griff. They're going to be on the Cloak and Dagger. Sorry, I thought I heard something behind me there, but it's all fine. Jane Delph on the Magneto, and Techno Shield will be playing the Mantis. On the right, on the attack, it is going to be Phasmophobes with a bit of an unfortunate situation here. We have Yours Anson playing the Star-Lord. Unfortunately, Yamatato is an issue they've had already in the past. They have disconnected. We're not seeing what they're playing yet. Mahil will be on the Lunar Snow. Dynam Light playing the Thor. Xenotiep playing the Punisher. They're insanely good on this. And Pediatric also insanely good on this Hawkeye. But starting off right away, a player down. It shows how strong, though, Phasmophobes are. That even though they've had these fairly consistent disconnection issues, that they've still managed to get this far in the tournament. To the lower bracket quarterfinals, they are just that good. Dynam Light deep in the back line, trying to cause pressure. Phasmophobes getting forced back, though. Pediatric is taken out. Lane even pushing up on this Penny. They're really trying to drive them back here. Yamatato will be rebooting, will be reloading in. Doing whatever they can to get back into this game and help out their team. So far, though, OCE setting themselves up pretty solidly. Zai in the backline causing a little bit of chaos. Xenotiep making their way forward as well. Piling on quite a bit of pressure here. Actually beginning to make a move here with Dynam Light. Trying to make space to get some push for their side here. But again, it's a 5 versus 6. How much can they really do here? Lane zoning away as best they can. Just keeping Phasmophobes back. Numbers still in their favor. taking out Pediatric. And if we have a look at the stats here, you can see exactly what's going on here. We have seen some pickups. Pediatric and yours Hansen have been able to pick up some final hits, but the numbers are just leaning heavily in favor of the team with the more players right now. With 1 minute and 54 seconds to go, Phasmophobes find themselves in a rough situation. It's gonna take them a miracle to try and make this back. Zai in the backline, trying to dive, past descent, takes out still on the air, but will go down to Pediatric after getting locked down on the stairs there. Griff pulling back to the defensive position, they don't want to get caught out. This is going to be when you will see Phasmophobes make plays, when they're able to pick off someone who oversteps here so they can try and make a play. But with Dynamite down, numbers are once again back in their favor. But with Techno Shield down, Pediatric is trying to make something happen. Yamatato still not back for the team. Yours Hansen, they're running the triple damage just to try and break this solo strategist. And with the Galactic Legend, they've taken out one. Eternal Bond buying time. Here comes the fate of both worlds. They're gonna try and do it. Taking out Griff. They were able to stagger some of the eliminations here. Could this be it? We're actually seeing Phasmophobes. They're taking them down, and Phasmophobes 5 versus 6 are about to take point number 1. Penny charging in, but they're not gonna make it in time. Frozen out here by Mahil, and a miracle has happened. Phasmophobes with 5 players actually push through. Phasmophobes on the board. Yours Hansen playing aggro right now. They know that they're not going to win with more Vanguards. They know they're not going to win with another strategist here. They're not going to out-sustain their opponents. It's never going to happen. So with less players here, their only hope is to try and burst them. So they're playing aggro. They're playing aggressive. They've got first point, and they're not letting up the pressure. If they get these isolations with Pediatric, who is kind of the linchpin right now, then they are setting themselves into a position where they can try and turn this around, but they're taken out by Griff. Lane getting pressured by the Thorn here. Getting pushed out of their webs pretty consistently here, but they do have the multiple strategists to keep them up. The webs spreading their Bionic Spider Nest. Damage boost coming in from OCE, driving back the members of Phasmophobes. Yours Hansen drops low and will likely fall. Same with Dynamite. Yours Hansen actually getting out of there. Zai going down, but brought back by Paper Bags. The Rocket working out very well in this very unique scenario. Bringing them back, making sure that they keep that numbers advantage, or at least numbers equal. Ultimates. Everything except for the Seer available for OCE. Down goes Mahil. Everything available except for God of Thunder. Techno Shield goes down. No BRB yet. Galactic Legend coming out. Yours Hansen giving it another one. There's the fate of both worlds, but completely isolated from the rest of the teams on the backline will be Dove here. But the Eternal Bond shuts that down. But that is both defensive ultimates going to be utilized here. Zai keeping the team up, keeping them alive, takes out Dynam, and Phasmophobes push back. But guess who's here, folks? Yamatato with 46 seconds remaining, loads into the game, locks in the Rocket, and they're gonna try one final push with the last couple seconds remaining. Infinite ammo, trying to set up for Solo TF, who's moving in with the final judgment onto Griff to take him down, gets J-Delph, they're going in! Trying to take down Lane on the backline, who's in full retreat. Nidam gets locked down with the freeze. They chase Griff off the point. Techno Shield went down, and Phasmophobes are full strength, pushing in, take down Griff. And Phasmophobes, an incredible job delaying until Yamatato could make it back, but they are still in overtime. It's going to take one team wipe for OCE now to take them down. Here comes the Spider Sweeper trying to get them off the point in this overtime. It's the only ultimate available right now. Here comes the Seer to try and push them through. Lane takes out Dynam Light as they try to force them off the point. The Arachnomines are making this floor incredibly dangerous. Who is left standing on the point? With Dynam Light down, they have no front line. Pediatric is far back off the point. Zero Thiep has to step up with the adjudication, trying to push on back with that shotgun. Zai with the fade of both worlds. Yamatato with the Seer to try and burst through it, but they are taken down. Pediatric trying to ping him off the point. Dynam Light charging in to touch the point and keep overtime ticking into the back line. God of Thunder at the ready, but taken out immediately by the Spider-Mines. Final Judgment pushing through, takes them down with Pediatric's help. They're actually doing it. They're actually pushing through, and Phasmophobes push on to point number 2. What is happening? Phasmophobes! You're supposed to be out! You're supposed to be done! You just took a 5v6 the entire game. You lost your one front line on the point, and they're still pushing! ZLTF dropped low though, does overextend a little bit, taken down, but comes back in the BRB as Zai trading back and forth with Dynam Light into the back line, going to try and take up Pediatric here. Will get them. Going to wait it out, wait for someone to step up and wait for those cooldowns to come back here. Who's the target? Yamatato looks like that is who they were focusing down there, but they are picked off by Zillow. Zillow with the infinite ammo and that attack speed boost. Pushing it forward. Lane trying to hold the line right now by a Spider Nest just around the corner here. Here comes the Spider Sweeper, spread that nest, get deep into the back line, drop the Arachnomines to try and zone them off the point. One's actually on the cart there, but it's taken down by the Star-Lord. Yours Hansen holding it together here. See a beam to try and take it down, to try and give them the damage boost they need. But we are seeing Phasmophobes hold with their triple damage composition. They're still surviving. God of Thunder into the back line, but they tag through. Zai takes out Pediatric. Yamatato will bring him back with the CFB, with the BRB. Mahil with the fate of both worlds to give them that tankiness. Every ult is being burned. Final Judgment. Hunter's Sight. They're pushing in. Jane Delphin Lane are down. Griff is down. And Phasmophobes are pushing in. Few more meters to go. It's overtime once again. Respawn's coming in for OCE. It's their last chance to zone them out. Zai taken out immediately. Lane trying to get set up. Culling turret on top of the point. Galactic Legend to drive back the defenders. Chasing down Rocket in the backline. In the spawn keeps one in, meaning the numbers are in favor of Phasmophobes. Dynam Light is getting dropped low. 2 eliminations make it 3 versus 0. They chase them down. Blaster Mirage. Techno Shield is out. J-Delph is out. And Zai falls one more time. Phasmophobes taking what seemed to be the ghost of a round and turning it into the 3 cap. You can't make that up. That was incredible. And OCE now have the unenviable job of pushing back into a full power Phasmophobes. What do they do? How do they adjust? So far, it looks like their adjustment is picking up the Black Widow. Black Widow and Hawkeye were being hovered there, going for that Hunters team up. What are they going to do? So currently, just hang it out. Pediatric, by the way, swapping it out on defense. They're going a little beefier. Bringing down the Penny Parker of their own. Look at that, spreading those webs. Really nicely done. And in the door frame, places where they can't be blown up. That was a little bit misplaced, but that's fine. We'll forgive it. But spreading the webs, hiding your mines, zoning out the area. Very nice work here. Good positioning. Lane bringing out the penny on attack here. We are in fact seeing the Black Widow already taking shots onto Nida, but they're being healed up quickly. Sorry, my apologies. Zai, the Black Panther last game. Remember, OCE, they need the triple cap to even be close here. That is a lot of terrain to be picked up by one sniper bullet. Nice little hole to be made, though, to snipe through. Gonna push up. Punisher on the flank. May have to go into melee mode. Getting focused by Thor as well. Locked down by the penny. Chased back here. Zai has to back up. And Nidam is taking through. Jade Delph taken out here. And the push back. Phasmophobes shutting down this first initial push. Still on Diep. Pushing them back. The Black Widow has been abandoned. We are moving in to the Black Panther once again. Still on Diep. Zoning out on the defense, forcing back Jade Delph as the team is completely zoned away from their front line. So far, Phasmophobes very forward on their defense. But it was in the last couple seconds the Phasmophobes were able to push in the first time. Can OCE mirror that miracle? They still have 2.5 minutes left. Plenty of time to make a push. Spotting Zai up there on the high ground. Zai actually spotted in front by multiple people. Focus down, chase down, 1 hit point. Makes it to a rocket. Still taking a lot of damage, trying to just dance back and forth. Will be healed up. Arachnomine still continuously being dropped. Griff goes down. They're trying to pop some of these Arachnomines from Pediatric. Apologies for the pause. Galactic Legend coming down with the Seer, trying to melt them in this hallway, but focus down, picked off. Griff has brought out Jeff to try and top up the team. Coming back to the BRB. Pediatric with the Spider Sweeper, chasing all the way back to Spawn. Takes a bit of the 1v1, gonna web out. And a web even to protect against Chase. Griff takes a little bit of damage, but will get out of there. They're 92% of the way towards It's Jeff. This may be the tool they need to try and drive the members of Phasmophobes off this defensive position. Lane drop low, healed up. Nicely done. Bubbles, 4 to save. It's Jeff. Available. Arachnomines, though, making this very difficult. Jeff, though, very mobile. Can do this and also has the jetpack from Rocket if they need to. Here they come. It's Jeff into the back line. Culling turret to block him against both strategists, but now nowhere to spit them out because they're getting targeted down. They bought some time, though, trying to make it to the edge with the spear. Rocket will dash back in, but there's no such luck for the Lunar Snow there. But this is their opportunity. Try and make the one to the border. See that TF has been taken out by Techno's shield. Mahil returns by Yamantado, which means still a TF will not. Lane Spider Sweeper expires. No more ultimates available. Mahil is trying to keep the team going here with this Fate of Both Worlds to hold the point, but they lose Pediatric, and OCE are making the push here. Blaster Barrage to try and take him down. Griff dropping low. Going to be spawning at the BRB, but this means that Zai will not. Making their way in. Galactic Legend for yours, Anson, and Phasmophobes are gonna hold this. Takes one more. Griff in full retreat. Blaster Barrage, so mobile, so hard to pick off. Can't catch him. And Phasmophobes are able to hold at 0%, and they take game number 1. Incredible work. Pediatric getting that MVP, well deserved. Damage when needed. Playing that Hawkeye, getting those pickups and swapping to the penny. That is a lack of ego that we need in ranked sometimes. Good lord. And well deserved MVP there. Only getting eliminated 7 times. It is the most on the team, but not by a lot. They were frontlining, they were a target a lot of the time, especially for Zai on that Black Panther. 29k damage, second highest on the team. Second highest in the game. 13k damage blocked, second highest on their team. Fourth highest in the game. 16 final hits, 29 eliminations, 17 assists. Pediatric did work that game. Incredible job. Highest eliminations, though. Highest final hits. 17 final hits. Just less in terms of eliminations. 28 for TF with no assists. But still, getting those final hits, getting the work done. And ironically, we're going to see less final hits on the side of OCE because they actually had less people to eliminate for the first half of that game. Look at the healing, though. Basically, everyone getting some healing done at one point or another. 21k healing. Just below Griff, who got 22k. Right at the end, beating out Paper Bags. With less people to heal. 19k healing. Mahil. Getting huge work done for their team. Yamateto wasn't here for over half of round number 1 and still was able to get 14k healing, which actually makes them the 4th highest in the game. I do a round of applause, but it's going to sound terrible on my mic. Nicely done. Incredible. Phasmophobes. That strong when missing a player for most of the game. Deserves all the kudos. But this is not a best of 1. This is a best of 5. Meaning OCE have the chance to come back and adjust. Let's see if they're able to do so. As we are going to get set up, ladies and gentlemen, for game number 2. Reminder that this channel only exists from the beautiful and wonderful and very appreciated support of people like you. Now, this can be through the fact that there are ads of these videos. This is how I get basically all my only income. I'm not sponsored. I'm not supported by Marvel. I'm not an official caster. Who knows? Maybe in the future, if they even know I exist. We'll see. If you wanted to know I exist, that's up to you guys. You're the only guys who can make that happen. I can't spam them. But I get a little bit of income from that. I get income from memberships. You can become a member on YouTube by hitting that join button to support for a couple dollars a month. Then you get these videos early. Whenever possible. Basically, when I'm not super ill like I am right now, I can only really record 1 a day. You can also, if you don't want to support monthly, you can hit that thanks button and support monetarily that way and just send the money directly to me. And that allows me to keep currently spending it all on cough medicine in order so I can make these casts happen, but also help me, you know, afford food and just keep doing this. The less I have to worry about working and stuff like that, less I have to worry about like picking extra hours up in any jobs, the more casts I can bring, the more work I can put into doing stuff, the more I can work on other videos. I'm currently working on a Teams to Watch for Season 1. I hope you'll enjoy that when it comes out. Thanks to all of your support. I'm currently in the lookouts for an editor to edit some like best-ofs from the season so we can have something a little digestible. That could be nice. So that is the support I get from you guys. But if you can't support monetarily, if it's too much, I know that just life is expensive these days. Super expensive. Good Lord. Then a really good way that you can support is just by helping these videos in the algorithm. And you can do that by making sure that these videos play for like the maximum amount of time, skipping between bits. You can skip the ad breaks, of course, especially if you're on YouTube Premium. But just making sure you watch the whole thing and not skipping around is going to be very helpful because it increases watch time. And that means that YouTube knows that people are engaged in the video. You can also show you're engaged by, if you're not subscribed, subscribing. Currently, 93, I think is when I last looked. 93% of you are not subscribed watching these videos, so subscribing and turning on that bell notification. You'll see when these videos come out. I promise not to spam you. I promise to keep delivering 1 a day. On occasion, I'll release an extra video like I did my interview with the European champion Smelvin. And of course, liking and commenting on the video is one of the biggest things the algorithm pays attention to. So leaving a comment, being engaged, talking to each other in the comments is very, very helpful and keeps these videos in the algorithm. I know we're in the lull between seasons at this point. These videos are getting a little bit less views than they were during the season, for example, but they're still getting insane views for the size my channel is at right now. So again, thank you all very much for doing so. And the last thing you can do is check out my socials in the comments, in the description of this video, where you'll also find the replay IDs for all of these games. You can go and watch them yourself and look at any view you want. I'm here because I love this game. But I will take any support you are willing to give. All right, that is the long spiel out the way. Let's get ourselves set up for map number 2.
They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that could make sense. They hate when I keep dreaming I'll be famous, but I don't give a fuck, I'ma keep chasing. I got all this potential that's deep inside of me, but they hate when you're successful cause they try to be. They sit there being judgmental because you're trying things, and they just want you to settle and do the right thing. So get a good job, don't slack off. Wake up every morning, make a good impression on your boss. Don't do anything that I wouldn't do, and when you're making money, make sure you don't spend it too soon. Fuck that, I'll do what I wanna do. I got a different path from everyone, and that includes you. Who were you to tell me how to live life? In these times it feels like nobody is right, yeah. So I'ma figure out what else we succeed, and then invest all of my time into that and proceed. I need whatever the hell could make me happy, and I don't think you have a clue what could that be. They tell me that I'm never gonna.
It is time for game number 2. We're heading to Shibuya. Phasmophobes now on the left, OCE on the right. And I realise that I forgot to say something at the start of the series, so there's already going to be a comment. I'm calling it now. There's already going to be a comment because someone will type it before they've watched the whole cast. But the fact that there are keyboard and mouse controls does not mean that the players are using keyboard and mouse. The replay system automatically defaults to whatever you are spectating on. You can literally go look at this yourself by watching PC games on console or watching console games on PC. You will see the controls for the players default to whatever you are using. They are not zimming. There is no cheating. It is just how I am watching. If anyone sees that comment in the description, in the comment section now, then you know you can go down there and you can you can tell them, didn't watch the whole video or something like that. That'll be fun. Don't be mean though. Don't be mean. We're nice here. That is something I really want to push for this community that we're kind of building here. I want people to be nice. It's not enough of that these days. We're seeing the Punisher and Hawkeye banned away from OCE. Loki and Doctor Strange by Phasmophobes. The Punisher is a very sensible band there. Celot has been leaning on it pretty heavily, and as such, with the Hulk available here, they could see maybe a swap of one of them onto that. Get that Gamma team up for the Iron Man. Pediatric has been allowed onto Hela though, and this may be a problem. Pediatric on this Hela is very tough to deal with. Very good at getting those headshots when needed. I don't think that's going to make it out the door, but we'll find out. Griff currently hovering the Storm. I'd be down. Storm and Thor being hovered up. They were also hovering Captain America. So they could give it a go. Remember, this is Season 0 we are watching. We are about a month behind in terms of when these games finished, but that is because that is how we are doing the broadcast. 1 video a day. If you want to watch the games, you can either find them inside the launcher by going to tournament and hitting the little sort of speech bubble, going to selecting the tournament you want. You can see all the games that way, or you can go to the official Marvel Rivals channel, check out the official casting there, and you can enjoy the games that way. So we're starting off with that Iron Man. With a Lunar Snow and a Rocket Healing. Now, that's actually going to be really difficult. Both of those are skill shot healers. Going to be hard to deal with, and it's made it out the door. We're seeing a Storm, pre-buff Storm, Season 0. Let's see what they do with this. They are running the Thorn as well, so they got the team up bonus, decided to go without the Captain America. Trading shots right away. Try to pressure in. OCE. 0-1 down at the moment. Here comes Celot from behind with the Unibeam. Focused down, forced to dash away. Boosts out of danger. Needs a bit of healing and will get it. Currently in range of the BRB is what that icon you can see. Trying to take out Griff. Not able to do the job so far. Yours Anson getting dropped a little low here. Forced to wall up. There we go. There's the healing. You can see they've not put the Lunar Snow, this Lunar Snow spread heal onto the Iron Man. They've got it on the Groot because Groot is going to be being the main front line here. You need to keep them up. If they go down, then you're going to lose the majority of the point here just due to the fact that you have to get people who aren't great at protecting that front line to jump onto it. Thor can dive on, but no one else really can except for Luna at a stretch. So they're just going to let this one go and just keep that healing. There goes Storm. Griff swapping onto the Lunar Snow here. They're going to keep that healing onto the Groot. Pediatric taking a couple hits here. The Seer being dropped here for maximizing damage. Down goes Zai. Yours Hansen getting Techno Shield, and they are pushing back the members of OCE. Counter Seer, but they are just getting locked down here, chased out, and look at the accuracy on Pediatric on a controller, picking him off. Astral Flock to get out of danger. And Pediatric just doing so much work for their team. Selotiep going for a little bit of a wraparound. Up above, has that invincible pulse cannon. Could go for an ultimate here. From above, maybe doing so. With the freeze to stop the block. Lovely job there. Shutting down lane on that Magneto. Only gets one. Griff already getting revived out here with the BRB. But it slows down the push once again. Yours Hansen deep in there trying to push. I'm forced to back out though as the Fate of Both Worlds will shut down their push. Needs to set up a wall to try and split this team. Meteor M coming in for lane. Finds no one though. The Fate of Both Worlds coming in. Pediatric with the Goddess of Death. Takes out the defenders on the backline. Zai trying to match them on the other side. Trying to chase down Senotiepe. Hits one. Looking for two. Can't find it. And as such, was not pressuring the point. Is Eisen from the team now. Going to get chased down. Astral Flock to try and back away. But there's no way that Zai is getting out of here. Phasmophobes currently holding this on 0%. Paper Bags goes down. Zai, moving off of Hela, has brought out the Wolverine. They've realized that the biggest threat here is to try and get rid of that Groot. If they take down the Groot, the point will be less defended, and they can try and fight it, so they brought out Wolverine. Let's see what they can do with it. Currently a little bit of a wraparound. Pushing in. They have a Hulk as well. They have the option for that fastball special. Here comes the Seer for the maximum damage. Trying to get Iron Man there with that dive. Unable to do so. So they turn their attention onto the Groot. Drop down to half health and forced to back away. Selotiep is going for a wraparound. Invincible Pulse Cannon onto Griff again. Magnetically attached to that Lunar Snow when Magneto is the master of magnetism. God of Thunder from Dynamite onto lane to force them back. The damage output is good. Everyone else is falling off to the side. Chase backwards. Griff falls. Goddess of Death just to make sure they secure a 0% push. And OCE are seriously in trouble. As Phasmophobes, a map uphold on 0%, now on attack. This is a rough position for OCE to be in. They may need to change something up here because they are about to be taken to match point if Phasmophobes can get a third of the first point. OCE, what do they mix up? How are they changing their strategy here to bring themselves back into this game? Zai has brought out the Iron Man, Techno Shield onto the Incredible Hulk. Jane Delph is going to be bringing out the Moon Knight. They have moved to the 2-2-2 with Rocket Jeff. I love these two characters individually. Excuse me, I am dying apparently. Excuse me, had to mute in order to allow myself to cough and not deafen y'all. I love these two characters individually, But Rocket needs time to heal. Jeff's burst healing is very reliant on positioning. So I'm a little worried about how they're going to, especially this Iron Man, keep them up right here. Let's see what they can do. Yours Hansen. Setting the team up for a flank so they can try and pressure inside. Finds Jeff, hide and seek, gets out. Chased down very aggressively. Techno Shield. Zai was picked off already. Brought back with the BRB. Zai finds Mahil. And this is exactly what OCE needed. A real pick to try and mix up their composition. And it turns up that Iron Man is that pick that's really mixing up the composition. Working well for now. Xenotiep off on the flank. Focus down though. Zai in a little bit of trouble. Has to back up. Is getting healed up very effectively. My doubts were misplaced. Oh, the Arachnomires do a little bit of damage to Xenotiep. But they tag through it. Healed up by the team. Trying to get that Unibeam onto Jeff. Popping Hulk back into Banner. And they need to keep people on that point. It's ticking up. Jeff has to make their way on. Invincible Pulse Cannon. It's too late. That is going to be a 1-0, setting the map score to 2-0 in favor of Phasmophobes, extending their lead here. "13 final hits for Pediatric." We called it. We called how scary they are on this Hela. 12k damage. 3k more than the next highest player, aka Xenotiep. Very, very good work here. Top damage blocked. 18k. Yours answer, we called it. Being the main anchor point in that choke. They had so much work to do to make sure that they were the one who was hit, that they were the one who wasn't going to break, that they were just going to be the bulwark to hold back the members of OCE. And you can see that not only did they do it with damage blocked, but importantly, they did not get eliminated. That is huge. Top healing, Mahil, 12k. Yamato just a little bit behind them with 10k. Same for Paper Bags, both rockets. Getting out there, a 22-point damage difference between the two rockets, 137 to 159. Griff doing 6k healing, but getting eliminated 8 times. They were trying to be up on the point. They were also, for a little bit, playing some damage, but it didn't work out in their favor. Did get one of their team's only 4 eliminations, but not enough in this case. Phasmophobes, in this lower bracket quarterfinals, are trying to lock this in and shut out OCE. Let's see if OCE can begin the reverse sweep. They have got to find another gear, because right now it's looking like they might be maxed out, and Phasmophobes are making a good case to move on to that lower bracket semi-final. Let's find out if OCE can pull off the miracle, or if Phasmophobes can keep the Cinderella story going as we get ready for map number 3.
Could be special if I get rid of the devils. They think that I am a rebel. I think they want me to settle. There's nobody on my level. They think that work is too stressful. I think that work is essential. The grind is all in your mental. And I don't think you understand what I'll go through just to be in control of my life soon. All the negativity, man, I'm immune. I don't really need a mask with all I've been through. I've been making changes for the ages. 5-10 year plans are contagious. I attack that shit, I'm tenacious. And if you ain't, get the fuck out of my way then.
And we are back. It is time for map number 3. Phasmophobes on match point. OCE yet to get on the board. Can they pull off the miracle comeback? Or will Phasmophobes, who started game number 1 a player down for the entire first point and a big chunk of the second, can Phasmophobes keep the Cinderella story going and make their way on to that lower bracket semi-final? So we're going to see Hella getting banned out this time by OCE. Phasmophobes sticking with the same stuff, but that's going to allow the Hawkeye to return. Pediatric, they've got options. OCE, they can't just ban them both out. I can't wait for, as the seasons go on, the number of bans to increase, which they should do. Don't make the same mistake as other games. Gonna see the Loki removed from play. Sorry, no, locked in. I made that. Hey, it's been a minute since I made that mistake. I don't think I did it last week. Last week? Yesterday. Good lord. Chris, focus. It's game 3. Lock in. Tetcher. I like that fact that I call myself by my real name when I'm telling myself off. What is going on? Christopher, how dare you? Why are you making mistakes? I'm sorry. Please just call me Tetcher. Iron Man taken out as well. Celothiep did some great work on that. But once again, Phasmophobes are just allowed back onto their standards here. Punisher and Hawkeye make the return. Black Panther getting removed here. Sai was creating a little bit of a threat here. Currently, we are seeing the 0 duelist composition for OCE. Quadruple strategist, double vanguard. I mean, I said they need to try something different. If you're gonna do it, why not? Give it a go. I would say you probably might want to pick up something like something that adds any kind of synergy. A Mantis is gonna do pretty reasonable damage output, could be solid here. You could even Mantis Adam Warlock to maximize damage output with those extra healing abilities, and of course the double cocoon for the Mantis and Adam Warlock. Loki's damage output is good though. So you're going to get some value out of that. Pediatric is currently hovering Storm. There we go. I was about to say. Would have been crazy.
So there are 2 dooms, huh? Sounds like overpopulation.
Making their way in at the start. Yav and Tato just sending out the healing balls right away. Not even hesitating. Just considering the fact that there could be damage.
This should be mine. But first, Doom must be...
Thor, speaking not just for themselves, but for Phasmophobes, looking at that grand final here. Pediatric has the high ground here. Good damage output. Trying to focus lane. Taking out that front line would be huge. Lane goes down to Celothiep, forcing them back into the choke point, and Phasmophobes will take the initial position. OCE, they are running though. They are absolutely doing the triple strategist double vanguard comp. Giving it a go. A lot of Jade Delve's attacks there were hitting the wall, so we weren't seeing the hit markers. Using the barrier, they buy some time. Good damage onto yours, Anson, but not enough to finish anyone. Culling turret, keeping them pressured, keeping them zoned. They decide a wider point of attack could be the play here. They try to make their way in. The healing output is good, but so is the damage here. The big player here, the important player, is going to be Pediatric. All that healing is good, but one lucky double shot between Celothiep and Pediatric is going to basically one-shot some of the squishier backline members and could shut down these pushes. And you can't heal someone who's already down! Another important member is the Groot as they separate the team in 2, keeping them away from their healing. Final Judgment and Hunter's Sight as Celothiep and Pediatric force them back here. Damage output is good. Finally able to take down Jade of Celothiep with the culling turret once again. Yours, Hansen. I expect we'll see more of this in Season 1, utilizing the Groot to separate the team away from their heals. Anyone who steps up without a strategist next to them already is getting punished. They're pushed back to spawn as Phasmophobes are trying to close this out as fast as possible. 79% currently. OCE with 0. Eternal Bond to make it onto the point to give their team some space, but Griff is already down. See ya to try and burst through this front line. Yours Anson utilizing a little bit of cover. Don't need to worry about how much damage I'm taking if I'm taking no damage. Trying to step up. Jadel making their way forward. Mahil to prevent any of the extra healing. Trying to push onto the point. Zai matching it with the fate of both worlds for that extra healing output. Techno Shield dropping their own, chaining them together. But there's a final judgment. One of the few abilities that can melt through a fate of both worlds. Trying to push through, but chased down and taken out. Jadel getting the final hit, but the Spider Sweeper is what set them up there as lane. Is trying to get them onto the point. Meteor M coming in there. Not able to find an elimination. Yamatato with the Seer on top of Groot to stay mobile. Up to the high ground, setting in the balls to keep the team up. Numbers advantage coming in favor of OCE as they force back and take out yours Anson. Touching the point, and the point is lost. OCE are still here. Dynamite taken down, pushed back, and OCE are getting momentum. They control the point on 99% to 13. Pediatric taking in shots from down range, forced to back up.
This is gonna hurt.
Mines placed on the wider entrance point as they move to defend the others. Phasmophobes, they need to take this back one more time. Down goes Stella, a little bit too aggressive there. Stepping out alone, gets picked off. Coming back though, with the BRB already returning to the team. Your Zanson splits the front line away from the strategist, but they stay up, especially with the help of the healing from that cloak and dagger. Here comes the Seer, and this will probably shut down this initial push out of Phasmophobes, but they're not giving it fully up yet. Already piling in a little bit of pressure despite the extra damage output. Your Zanson barely taking anything, actually, just taking through this. Spider time coming out. That will force back Nine Light here. Don't want it to get picked off. Great wall separating out Jadel to try and finish him, but no. They tag through and Lane in the backline will take down Pediatric. Yamatato making the most. Here comes the Seer. Even though they're down a member, they're going to try and make it happen. Final judgment. One more time. They need to get through this fate of both worlds. They take down Lane. Griff. Griff comes back. J-Delph is down. Zai is down. And it's going to be Phasmophobes breaking through everything that is left for the defense. Griff trying to buy time, but they will fall. Culling turret to cut off any reinforcements, but there's none to be had. Phasmophobes are going to take round number 1 of map 3. Final judgment, a huge tool at breaking these defensive lines, breaking through that fate of both worlds. And in this case, the case is made beautifully by Celotiep. Oh my god, their name is Celotape. I need to go. This game needs to be over so I can just sit with my head in my hands. I think I might be stupid. I think I might be stupid, chat. Oh my god! Oh my god, I'm stupid! Oh no! What the heck? Oh my god! I'm bad at my job, guys. Guys, cows, everyone in between. Take me away, Neddies. Take me to the rock. All right, the raft. Sorry, whatever their super prison is called. All right, Phasmophobes looking to close this out. Celotape on that culling turret already. Trying to cut off this upper area by zoning them out as Pediatric has already taken down Zai, but Zai will return thanks to the BRB from Paper Bags. Into the low ground, root walls to try and split the team in two. Zai currently a solo damage. They're going for what is likely going to be a Season 1 meta, the triple strategist with the solo damage. But honestly, I don't know if it's going to work with how Phasmophobes have been playing. OCE need to pull off the miracle. Pediatric returns, zipline, a little bit scuffed. Sellotape up to the high ground, try to find one, does not get it. Yours Anson. Setting up a group path. Ooh, not exactly all the way up there, but trying to just give themselves a way up to that high ground to keep them zoned away. Not the best angle, not finding a lot of damage here. Ooh, the angles are not playing nice for them there. That's the same wall, they're just getting rid of it. They know it's not working. Keeping them zoned. Root wall. Keeping them off the point as once again Phasmophobes holding everyone back. OCE needs space onto the point. Lane goes down. BRB brings them back. Got a Thunder. Into the back line. Finds no one. Forced to back away. See ya. Coming out for the extra damage output. Dives onto Zai. Backs away. Very nearly steps off the side there. But they're holding it back. Griff. Eternal Bond to try and give them the space to make their way onto the point. Zai has swapped onto the Hawkeye. Down they go, though, with the Seer. Fate of both worlds and final judgment. Once again, OCE are cleaned out here. Forced completely off the point. Ooh, but Zai showing the Pediatrics not the only Hawkeye in town. But already on 81%, it doesn't matter how many pickups you get if your team is step onto the point. There is the straggling prison from Groot, allowing Dynamite to take out Techno Shield. Zai stepping up, Hunter's Sight coming in from Pediatric on the backside to just chase them in, takes out the Magneto, and with both front lines down, who is left to touch the point? Techno Shield swaps to the Iron Fist, but can't make it, and that is going to be a clean 2-0. Phasmophobes, from being down a member and still taking a point to barely dropping single points in the other 2 rounds. Only even losing control in that round 2 for a little bit. Sorry, that round 3. That is going to be Phasmophobes moving on to that lower bracket semi-finals here. MVP going over to Pediatric. 10 final hits, 17 eliminations, 15k damage. Only person who beats them in damage is Sellotape. With 18k damage, 10 final hits, 14 eliminations. Beautiful performance. Damage blocked. Almost an exact tie between your Zanson and J-Delth. Lane beating them out by about 400 though. Taking the win there with 27k. Paper Bags, 11k healing, only getting taken out 1 time. Nice job there. Only 74 damage though. Obviously it's not a Rocket's job to do damage, but you do got to contribute at least a little. Techno Shield, mixing it up a little bit. 6k damage, almost 7. Nicely done. 10k healing. Really good job on that Loki. Getting eliminated only 3 times. Griff getting focused down a little bit. Had to be a little bit more stuck in on that Cloak and Dagger sometimes. Had to drop some Eternal Bonds to try and dive it. Not getting the most out of it. 16k healing for Yamato and Mahil. Both of them keeping up there. Very low damage for Mahil. Really focusing on that healing. Not as low, of course, as Yamato. You do expect rocket damage to be low. 800. It's not... I'd say that's a bad average, maybe like a tiny bit less than average, but they were really focused on healing your Zanson. Nicely done. Phasmophobes, they will take the 3-0 and will move on to that lower bracket semi-final where they will either play against PS4 Group or Asai.net. That will be tomorrow's cast, ladies and gentlemen. For today's cast, though, I hope you all enjoyed. Tomorrow's cast is going to be, as we mentioned, lower bracket quarterfinal, PS4 Group versus Asai.net. Then we will have our lower bracket semi-final between Phasmophobes and either PS4 Group or Asai.net. And then we will have our upper bracket final between Hope and Slither Edge. So that is our schedule that is coming up over the next couple days. I hope you've all enjoyed. I'm going to go rest my voice for a bit, and you know what? I am feeling a little bit better. I might actually try and get that second lower bracket quarterfinal done today so I can keep getting those early videos out for the members, because I did take yesterday off. Let's see how I feel. For now, though, I hope you've all enjoyed. Remember that liking and commenting and subscribing is the biggest thing you can do to help this channel grow. All the rest is appreciated and just helps me exist in this world. If you want to help let Marvel Rivals know that I exist and that I am open to cast next season, season 1, then I am more than willing. If you want to do that for me, I'm not going to tell you to do it. That's brigading. But if you want to do it, it will be appreciated. Just don't be mean. Don't be a jerk. Don't go spamming where it's not needed or not deserved. If you want to let them know, there are channels you can do it. For now, though, thank you very much for watching, everybody. I have been Tetcher, your caster for today, and I will see you all next time.